guys, how you doing today? And as I showed you yesterday, we installed this clamp, and until I get more of these or figure out how to make a flat top piece of metal, I have one of these, which is basically a cell phone holder, but I have used it in the past to hold my action camera when that's not the easiest thing to put on with one hand. And so what I can do is have it like this and then turn it. Have it set up in whatever configuration I need it to be. And then I can just quickly snap this just like that. And then the camera is there. It's pretty secure. I just prefer, again, just like this is not bad actually. And I can't remember how much this thing costs. It's a little bit on the ridiculous side. I think it's, see, look, I have to make sure it's tight on, screwed on really tight so it doesn't move around. But yeah, we'll just leave it on there for now. And then I guess another good thing is I could just quickly fold it up and out of the way. Nice. So I want to go to the store and hardware store and either buy some wood or see some of these lumber yards and things have like scrap wood that you can practice with. You just have to ask nicely. Here's our pocket hole jig, and it's probably the drill bit. Comes with a clamp, comes with lots of screws. That's funny because I was thinking about maybe I need to buy more screws. I probably do need to buy more screws. That's probably not enough. These are probably way too long for the type of job I'm doing. But I might have to, this is probably the ones I need going forward. So 1 1/4 and get started. So maybe I could buy those online. I'm not sure. Yeah, that straight edge is a kind of a cool thing I'd love to buy right here, because you can use it to help cut with a circular saw. I think it's this one, or maybe it's this one, AccuCut. And this is the actual gizmo. Cool. Just put that. I'll be able to put it anywhere I want. When I want to release it, pull that. This can lock it. Got a little lock on there. That's going to help us do it. I've watched a couple videos this morning just to remind myself what I need to do and how easy and hard it's going to be. But again, I'm going to have to get those. I'll see if they have them at Home Depot, great. If they don't, then I'll get them online. But this is very important. Well, there must be something else in here. Yes, right there. Oh, this is the little chuck. And that's to set the depth of the drill bit, which is here. All right, so let's go quickly into town and grab some more screws, because I'm gonna need a lot of them. And then we'll have to also order the slides. I'm gonna do a couple measurements, because I might want to make a 5-foot drawer and then have 3 feet of storage up here. So I want this part of the bed to lift up. Actually, it's going to be in 2 pieces. There's going to be a lid here, but then this whole thing drawer is going to slide out the back so I can cook out back. But if I have like a lid here, I could access down into that deep well that's going to be there once we rip this thing apart. So yeah, let's go into town quick. Looks like gas is $1.27.9 today. Is there a police car there or something? Yeah, somebody got a speed ticket or there was an accident. Can't really tell. There's too many cars around. But yeah, today is Monday, and it is April 21st. It's just after 12, and it's $1.27.9. When we came home on Saturday night, this gas station, actually all the gas stations coming here were anywhere from $1.25 to $1.37. And then when we got to our gas station, which is my favorite gas station, it was, I think, $1.17. So not gassing up when I needed to gas up. I knew the car would last to get to here. Still saved a couple bucks there. Smart move. Last night, Carol and I watched part 2 of the second season of The Last of Us, and it was a shocker. I'm sure a lot of people weren't expecting that. I'm sure there's a few people who knew certain things that were going to happen, but wow, what a crazy episode. I'm glad we didn't watch last week's episode last week, so we saved it to watch last night. I think we finished watching it at like 8:20, and then when I went to go watch episode 2, it wasn't going to be aired until 9 o'clock last night. So we had to wait 40 minutes. So then I flipped on the hockey game, and I watched Toronto win over Ottawa. The Battle of Ontario continues, and we kicked butt. It was a good game. So I watched the rest of the game. Carol's planning a trip to go out with one of her girlfriends to do some whale watching. And so she finished doing that while I finished watching the hockey game, which was a good break between episode 1 and episode 2 of The Last of Us. But if you haven't watched The Last of Us, get a hold of that. It's a great series. Fantastic. Home Depot has these like seconds, and then they bundle them up, and then they have a price on them. But none of this is the type of wood. I'll probably not be using any of this kind of wood. If anything, I'd be using maybe this, but I think I'm going to be using more plywood type stuff. All right, let's go see if they have more screws at least. And it's exactly where all the other stuff that is, Craig. This is where we bought this thing from, and I need this. And I'm guessing that will be a lot. And I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff for R2 and for the Sprinter van Moose. So I think this will be perfect. One of the other things I saw a gentleman using, which I think is going to be super useful, that is, he used a router to, if you had like a solid piece of plywood, he didn't need it to be a solid piece of plywood, so he'd actually cut out holes to save on weight. And he said you can use a jigsaw, but he found that the router, hello. He felt that the router did a better job, depending on how much the router costs. $230, new lower price. So I just looked in the bins, and there's nothing extra in those. So sometimes you can just take that stuff. But this is the stuff I've been looking for. 1/2 inch and then sanded birch ply. $48, basically $49, which is cheaper than the stuff that was over there. I'm not sure what the difference was. Maybe it was thicker, but it was $88. I don't want to do aspen. Nobody said do aspen. So now I know where it is. I wonder if this is good for specific wood. See if I'm going to use 3/4 inch, which I think everybody uses. 1/2 inch. So if I'm using 1/2 inch, then I got to buy 1 inch screws. I'm using 3/4 inch, but it does look like they have 3/4 inch plywood birch. I think I should stick with 1/2 inch. So these are wrong. So they don't have 1 inch. Come on. So they have 1 inch, 25 mil. Again, ½ inch, 25 mil. And this is only 100 pieces. And it is 10 bucks. So these are the ones I'm gonna buy. Now, just to get a sample piece of wood, I think this would be not bad to try. Doesn't say what it is it? It's 1 inch, 1 inch by 4 inch. We could just do like an example piece. These are bed slats, but I don't want to buy too much and then just waste it. So it'll be a $4.18 experiment. But I think I definitely am going to do the ½ inch birch just to keep it light and easy to work with, maybe. We got this side. All right, how you doing? Oh, I scanned it already.
You did.
Nice. Debit?
Okay, you can tap on the pad or insert at the bottom.
Great, thanks.
There we go. And
All right, thank you.
you have a wonderful day.
You too. And away we go. I also bought the this guide. What's it called? A rip cut guide, because I don't have a table saw and I'll need to be cutting long strips of wood. I could borrow it off somebody, but my uncle offered to lend his, but I just rather have my own, so I don't have to worry about going to his place, picking it up, making sure I drop it off, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get home and give it a shot. Made it home, but it is pouring rain, so I'm gonna have to continue this vlog tomorrow. Once again, thanks for hanging out with me and going into town and shopping around. I also slipped into Canadian Tire to see if they have WeatherTech, the window shades or rain guards, and they don't carry them in house, but they could order them for me. So I'm gonna probably call them back and tell them to order it for me. That way, if it is wrong, then I can return it much easier than I can with Amazon. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video, and we'll try to get some sample stuff done.